Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to RLCraft. So today we're actually going to be starting off with the rest of the footage from kind of where I was going with the last recording, and then I'm going to catch back up with you guys here in a little bit. And for the back half of the episode, we're going to be working on some character upgrading stuff. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. We just have to find said waystone and get out of here before the zombies eat all the villagers. And then return. Oh no, there's a blight zombie. Oh God. This is terrible. There is actually probably a bed up here. Not here. Not here. No. Oh, they're killing all the blight. There's the waystone. I forgot that the Lycanites has those guardian mobs that will like protect the villages, and they won't attack. Well, they can attack you if you mess with them. They're kind of like super iron golems, more or less. No, let me kill the blight zombie. Yeah! I got a hit in on him, so I get all the XP. 28 levels! Yes! Yes! Let me get out of here. Oh no! I'd be thirsty. Okay, so this book is full. 34 levels is like a full book, it looks like. Let's go ahead and take our point in defense. Ba-boom. So now we can wear dragon armor. And we have enough XP levels to get points in magic, which is what I was wanting. 8. Is that what we want to go with for now? Yeah, let's go with 8 for now. And then let's take points in attack, because I do need to get this leveled up. So we got that up to 12, magic up to 8, defense up to 24, and now we can take our heart canisters. Ba-boom, ba-boom. And I think, yeah, now we have 4 hearts on all of our body parts. Hey, that rhymed. And, ooh, advanced projectile protection and vitality, fire protection 4, and unbreaking 3 armor. And the Major Mesa. Now, jousts are going to be able to spawn in this area. Looks like there might have been a dragon up there. I hear him. So there's a dragon flying around my village. And there's a tower. Oh, hey! This village isn't long for life, I tell you what. Yeah, go get him, Aegis. Oh, man. Yeah, these joust raids are going to take a toll on this village, I can only promise you. Okay, is there any loot in this pot? Nope. That's fine. What about the smithy? What do we got? Chain wolf armor. Iron spear. Bread. A crafting rune from forgotten items. Crafting runes. Okay, we'll take it. Let's see. And I don't know what this crafting rune is for. Oh, rune reader. And then the advanced, yeah, the advanced rune reader. Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing this mod. This mod has some really nice stuff in it. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, we'll get into that. That's kind of nifty. I didn't even think about that mod being in this pack, to be honest with you. I get these backpacks all sorted here soon. I do, I do. Okay, but we can make our dragon armor now. So let's get rid of our old iron armor. I'd really like to get... I need to look around that village and see if there's like a mending villager maybe. Let's go ahead and get our bronze chest plates and our bronze legs and our bronze helmet and our bronze boots. We'll get rid of all this stuff. Alright. Boom, 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 boom. Cool. And we got plus on jump height. Minus dig speed, minus attack speed. That's great. Okay. That's not really ideal at all. Oh, I like the sound of it. It sounds like chainmail. Since it's too hot to go to the village right now, we need to get a reforging station from Quality Tools. Anvil. That's standard. Okay. Now that we're actually getting into stuff that matters, that, you know, we'll keep for a bit, I want to make a reforging station. I'd really like to get mending on this thing. We won't be getting mending on it right now, though, because we just don't have mending. But I need to look around that village and see if I can find a mending villager that hopefully doesn't get slaughtered from the mob attacks. There is our reforging station. Now, hopefully... Oh, I need building level 8. We'll see if we can't find some cool stuff. That's just a library. What kind of a villager are you? Librarian villager, unbreaking. Man, you don't have what I want. What's in this structure over here? And that one there, and then this tower. This is one of the forge structures. They have chests. Nothing all that great. I will have pistons, though, if I ever need them. But, I mean, the recipes aren't tweaked in this pack, so it's really not that bad to just make them. What do you have? Whoa! I will take the wool. What's this? I haven't a clue what that is. Empty chest. I feel... Yeah, there's an upstairs. Oh, and I was looking for a bed. This would have been the place to go, I suppose. Okay, so what about this big, massive super tower? I hope I don't get too hot, though. Alright. What do we have in here? It's like a big wizard tower. What is this? Books. Book and quill. Nothing. Hoping there was like some epic loot inside of this or something, but I don't think there's going to be. And junk. But yeah, we're going to have to start maybe breeding villagers soon. Try to get a mending villager. That would be awesome. I mean, I guess we could AFK fish farm it, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that, so we probably won't. This is the top of the tower. Just nothing all that great. I mean, I'll probably come back and get the food at a later date or something. I guess I got inventory space. I might as well take the food with me. That wasn't quite as exciting as I was hoping it was going to be, but that's alright. When I first saw the structure, I was like, oh man, because it reminded me of the, like, the little, oh, I can't remember what they were called, but they were like unique items. Some of them were weapons, and some were different types of armor, and baubles, and they were just like really, really cool stuff, and there was like those little towers. Oh, there's a ruin. I do know there's a dragon that's flying around near here. And then there's that tower, which we could check out. Okay, I cut for a bit because I thought that was originally going to be the end of the episode for the dragon battle. And then I got to editing and I was like, no. So sorry about that. Anyways, so I did do a bit of work between cuts. It's actually been Not all that long, but I did start working on this. We're going to start working on the base proper. Just kind of building this out at the moment. This is just kind of like supports that go around, because remember, this is kind of like a basement sort of area, or it's going to be. And then I started working on this part here, up where the more proper base is going to be. And what I want to do today, there's a couple things I want to do. I want to start working on some character development type stuff, some stuff that's going to boost our strength. And I should go ahead and address, there's a couple things I've been wanting to address and finding a good time, because I have been reading all the comments. I actually haven't been able to respond to all of them. There's been a lot of comments. But I get an overwhelming number of comments about making rapiers. I'm familiar with Spartan's weapons mod. I'm actually quite familiar with it. Rapiers, not my go-to, especially for an all-around weapon. The nice thing about Spartan's mods, Spartan's weaponry, is it's actually really, really balanced with the vanilla weapons. So the iron sword is still very viable, even compared to, I think rapier seems to be the most popular weapon. Rapier actually comes out to be lower DPS, and assuming that you're not getting the unarmored damage bonus. Now, when you're just fighting zombies and stuff, you will be getting that a lot, as long as they don't have armor. But as soon as you start fighting some of the more dangerous mobs that do have armor, it shows over a battle that it's quite a bit weaker. For example, the purple blighted zombies with all the armor, you're going to be getting less damage on those. Dragons, you're going to be getting less damage on those. A lot of Lycanites mobs, you're going to be getting less damage. So it's really not, that's the nice thing about Spartan's mod, there's no best all-around weapon. So generally when I'm dealing with Spartan's mods, I will wait until, because making everything out of iron, you're just running through a lot of iron. Whereas the sword is actually a really good balanced weapon for all types of situations. You can use it with a shield. It's got good damage output. Speed's not bad. It's just a good all-around weapon. Now that I'm still working up levels for attack. We do have to get that up. But now that we're at a point where we can make dragon bone stuff, this is the point where we're going to make ourselves a weapon suite with a few different weapons, because Spartan's mods, like for example, if you pull up dragon bone, you can see there's a huge variety of weapons. Not just rapiers, there's a bunch of weapons. And each of these, they're balanced, so they have positives and negatives. There's really no best in slot. So you really kind of just have to find the weapons that you like. Rapiers aren't necessarily the best thing. They're not best in slot, and they're situational like every other weapon in this. For example, some of the two-handed weapons are great, but you're looking at not really being able to use a shield if you're using them. As far as the two-handed weapons go, there's quite a few of those with different fighting style, different bonuses. Katana's cool, but it has a low base attack. Pretty decent attack speed, and it also gets the chest armor bonus. There's the longsword, which is also pretty nice. There's the halberd, which is pretty nice. The warhammer, which is really good if you're going up against mobs with armor. Warhammer is extremely good if you're wanting to tank dragons and melee them down, because they tend to, especially the higher ranked dragons, they do have quite a bit of armor. Some of the Lycanites mobs have quite a bit of armor. So you kind of just have to play around with it, find yourself a good weapon suite. So we are going to be making ourselves a new weapon suite out of dragon bone. And then here soon we're going to go dragon hunting and get some dragon's blood. I'd really like ice blood. I like the knockback and chill instead of the burn. Burn's actually a double-edged sword, because of the fact that if you, say, set a zombie on fire and then he hits you, you catch on fire. Ice is good all around because it's going to knock him back. You're going to get a damage boost using it. For example, the iced Dragonbone Saber is 7.25 attack damage, whereas the standard saber is 6.5. You're going to get a nice damage boost going with these, and then and there's no difference between the damage on the fire ones and the ice ones. They both get the same raw damage, but the fire's going to, of course, burn them, but you have to watch out because you get burned. So I'd like to go ice dragon hunting here soon and try to get some icy dragon's blood so that we can make these. But for right now, we're going to be going for dragon bone weapons. But before we can do that, we need to go tackle a dungeon. And I'm because I need a bit more levels, because I've only got 13 attack. I need to get up to 24, which is pretty high up there. So we're gonna pop over to here, and we are going to go tackle this dungeon. There we go. Alright. And we are going to get into mob summoning too. I'm quite familiar with Lycanite's mobs. It's just mob summoning is kind of... It's actually a bit OP, and it's not gated very far into the pack, so it's kind of exploitable. I don't know if you consider that exploitable, but it's a little bit overpowered, let's say. Well, let's go ahead, and we're actually entering between floors, which isn't... It's not ideal. Whoops. Try to get these bandages going. Alright. I did not realize that that hole went down that far. Alright, but this should be a pretty easy dungeon. I'm going to go ahead and clear up first, I think. Alright. Oh, it's backwards. Yeah. We are backwards here. And there's no stairs on this floor. Well, for some reason, it seems like we don't really have many mobs spawning. I mean, I hear jousts and stuff. But this place is pretty... Oh, we're already up here. Okay, cool. This place is pretty strangely peaceful at the moment. There's no stairs. This is going to make this one a bit tougher, potentially. But, of course, that's only if they ever come out. Let's go ahead and take attack, attack. There we go. I wonder why the mobs are not spawning here. Unless maybe the mob cap's being used up by something else. Possibly. Maybe so. Okay, and that's the top. So that's all the spawners. Why did nothing spawn here? Unless it's just like somehow bright enough that the mobs aren't spawning. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't a clue. Of course, the loot in here is not all that great either. I probably should have abused the spawners a little bit more than I did, because I'm not going to have enough XP. Because I went straight for destroying them. I get a whole lot less XP doing that, but that's okay. But I figure now's the time to make a weapon suite, because we're at the point now where we're going to start dying a whole lot less. Or we should. Because we're actually at the point kind of... Usually with these like hardcore type combat-y packs, generally the odds are stacked against you at the start, but they level off at a certain point where you start kind of reaching the point where you have the proper equipment for survival and stuff like that. And it seems like I'm not sure about like the Nether and the End because we haven't been there yet. But it does seem like we're starting to reach a point where we're going to start leveling off here soon. And so now's the time to make a weapon suite when we're not really afraid that we're going to die a lot. And maybe potentially lose our weapons and have to remake our weapons. Or at least that's the way I see it. I know everybody's different, but... Alright, I'm going to pop back over to the mesa. And, yeah, I've got to hunt mobs. I might just hunt jousts around this area. I do want to see... Oh, that dragon's flying. Never mind. I'd rather not. But I could hang out here at night and probably get some more of those blighted zombies to spawn, which would be pretty cool. I'm really loath to mess with these scorpions, but... I bet they're not buffed up, though, because, like, in the pack I'm working on, they're pretty strong, but they're actually not too bad, I guess, in vanilla, more vanilla-ish Lycanites, so... Is this one of these redstone buildings, maybe? No, it's a roguelike dungeon. Okay. I guess we could go tackle the roguelike dungeon and get our XP. Which, if we do, it might be next episode before we make our weapons sweep. That's okay. There is one thing in particular I do want to get made, though, this episode. Poisonous sticky exhaust. Alright. There you go. To kite these crypt zombies. Okay. Okay, but what I want to make this episode is I want to make a poison stone because they're not all that expensive. Just 4 fermented spider eyes and then 4 of these glowing ingots, which is glowstone and blaze powder. I don't know. I should have. Yeah, I've got the glowstone. And then I think I've got the blaze powder. I need to get all this stuff sorted out here soon. I will. I will be. And then we'll get our 4 of those, our emerald. And I know I got a fermented... Yeah, I got 1 fermented spider eye. They drop from some Lycanites mobs. Shroomfish and shroom... Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to get brown mushrooms. I've got 2. But I need a 3rd one. I could try to grow one. But honestly, I think it might just be easier to just go out and find one real quick. There's chupacabras down there. Because my torches have went out. Ah, here's a brown mushroom. Awesome. Alright, so what we're going to do, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and make the poison stone. We're actually close to the roguelike dungeon at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and get our fermented spider eyes, our glowing ingots, and our poison stone. There we go. And this can go on our chest piece. Yeah. Okay, and what the poison stone does is it's going to make us immune to poison, so we don't have to worry about stuff like cave spiders and witches and all that. Okay, I want to pop you guys in just really, really quick. I decided to... Well, before I go do the roguelike dungeon, I decided to just go ahead and get the XP levels that we need. And I'm actually, like, there's the village... Or, I'm sorry. Right here's where we're at, and there's the village. Right across the river, there is a another one of these towers. And this one, I'm going to take my time. I did break the spawners down here just because they were skeleton spawners. And what I really want is zombie spawners for farming XP on. So anyways, I'm just going to farm up some levels here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Purple baby zombies are terrifying. He's right behind me. Okay. And he's wearing a headpiece. See, this is where, like, the rapier wouldn't be as good. Because, yeah, there's 30 levels. But the rapier wouldn't get the damage boost, so it would actually be less DPS than just the regular sword. Actually, most of these zombies, you can see they do have armor. Oh, man. That one's got gravity. Okay. There's 19 levels. We need 21, though. Okay. I do have some plaster. And there is also a dragon body over here. I'm going to go ahead and loot this just for some extra dragon bones. That'll be the main thing that we'll be getting from this. And I'm going to head back to the village. I've got to do a little bit more grinding, but I'm getting close to having the... those towers are great for just straight up XP farming. Honestly, at this point, I'm not breaking too many of the spawners. I'm just letting them break because it's just a whole lot more XP if you do it that way. Ideally, what you would do is kill, say, 9 zombies and then break the spawner, just so you get the drops. But, trying to time it just right is easier said than done. So I'm just killing, mainly just killing zombies. But there's, I need 1 XP level. Boom, boom. And now we are up to 5 hearts on our head. Our body's still got a little bit, but I'll be back once I get 3 more levels on attack. Okay, I killed zombies and spiders and skeletons and all that fun stuff for a while. I'm up to just about enough XP for us to equip our weapons, and I figured we go ahead and take out the boss that's in this tower. I've got plenty of arrows. This shouldn't be an issue. And should be pretty fun. So we're going to give it a shot. If the boss... I honestly wonder if this tower's not just broken. Huh. Okay. There's more spawners up here. And maybe there's not a boss in this tower. Huh. Okay. Well, that should be enough levels, though. It is. This was a weird tower. Awesome. So now we can make our Dragon Bone weapon suite, which is going to be great. It's going to be great. And then probably next episode we'll probably tackle Roguelike Dungeon, perhaps. That might be what we do. So, I know I cut out the tower that actually had mobs, but literally all I was doing was killing mobs. Just farming for a bit. Okay, so let's grab our Dragon Bone stuff. And let's pull up Dragon Bone. And there's a couple other things I'm going to want to make. Actually, before we start on that, let's actually pull up pouches. The tool belt pouches. I want to make a few of these. For starters. And I'm also going to need an anvil. As well. I've got to be level 12 building, though, to use an anvil. Okay, so maybe we won't make the pouches right this second, then. Okay, so, for the Dragon Bone weapons, I think, like, the crossbows and stuff we're not going to be able to do, and the bows just yet, because we need agility for those. But first up, I definitely want a saber. It's a lot like the rapier, except I like its effects a bit more. It gets the damage bonus, not a 200%, it's a 100%, but it's got a higher base stat. Lower attack speed, but the rapier can come out to be more damage, but it's assuming that your foe has no armor whatsoever. Lots of mobs in this pack have armor, so the rapier's not as powerful as I think as the saber, because it's not based on an armor stat, it's based on actually having a chest equipment. I do quite like it. Let me get some sticks, but it's all preference. I know some people will disagree and they'll say, no, I like the rapier. That's fine. That's the nice thing about Spartan's weapons. There's a huge amount of weapons that you can use. I like the saber. I feel like it's a bit more reliable to me personally. So we're going to go with the saber. This is going to be for dealing with, this is going to be kind of more of our sword, right? Our like general go-to weapon, because it's quite useful and it's going to be good for clearing out just zombie type nests, skeleton type nests and stuff like that. I may still make a bone sword maybe later, but not right this second. I also want to get a spear, I think. Or do I just want the lance? Spear's good. It's got a little bit higher attack speed, a little bit lower damage. I'm going to take the lance. Now, there are... I'm going to need a pole. There are, like, the halberds and stuff that have higher damage, but the issue is they're two-handed. So you suffer using them with a shield, And shield is kind of important, so we will still have some two-handed weapons. They're good for certain things, but I want the saber, the lance, and the lance is great. Spear's better if you're only using it like shield and spear. Lance is good because it's also got the riding damage bonus, which we will be getting a mount here soon. So I want to get that. I also want to get a Warhammer. This is great if you're tanking something. For example, a lot of bosses in this pack. Dragonbone Warhammer is great when you don't necessarily have to have a shield because you have a 50% ignore armor damage. It makes a huge difference as far as, ooh, we got plus 15% attack damage too, but we lost on reach, so that's fine. We've got a reforging station. I've just got to get my building skill up. I also want, the hammer is nice. It is really nice because it keeps the mobs away if you're dealing with like melee type battles. It's a little bit slow. It's kind of like fighting with an axe sort of thing. But it's actually not a bad weapon. Also, these thrown weapons are really good as well. I also want a mace. And eventually these are all going to be on our tool belt, so we'll be able to switch between them and have all these different weapons and be like a real... And what's cool is they actually display too. And I also want to go ahead and get a battle axe, I think. Not as much for combat, even though it is a very devastating weapon. But we can also use this as our axe. And I'm assuming that it's not going to be based off gathering skill. I'm pretty sure. Because see, like the normal axes, they require gathering of 24, but we can use the Dragonbone Battle Axe as an axe because it's based off of attack stat. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a big axe upgrade for us. Yeah. I can't have my shield equipped whenever I use it, but it is a very quick axe compared to our stone axe. And it's not based off gathering skill, so we can kind of bypass that using the battle axe. Plus, it is, like I said, it's a devastating weapon for like one-hit kind of attacks. And I think that's the main ones I want are these four. I do quite like these. Mace is great for like the wither. Greatsword's nice too. Yeah, let me make a greatsword as well. And that's because this is going to be our sweeping weapon. And this is by far the best sweeping weapon in my opinion. I don't think any of the other ones have wide attack, which is, if I have a lot of zombies coming down, like a lot of those hallways when we're fighting those towers, I can sweep and hit all of them, and they all take full damage. It's major. It is another two-handed one, so it's not going to be for places like whenever we're dealing with skeletons and stuff, but it is a really nice weapon. So, yeah, let's go with that. And then I think it's time that we make ourselves a better shield as well. These things are quite nice, especially coupled with like the lance. They're so good. Like going in there with like the shield up and like lance it down kind of a thing. And you can fight behind your shield. The main reason I haven't been using this shield for like a lot of melee damage, mainly for skeletons, is because the durability is just not all that great on it. And I don't want to end up losing it and not have it when I need it, basically. We're going to go with a diamond reinforced shield. And the nice thing about this is we can shield bash with this. It does mean we have to drop our shield for a minute, but the nice thing is we can shield bash and it kind of stuns them and then hit them and then bring the shield back up, shield bash, hit them. And it's a really good one, especially if it's a stronger, like a purple mob, for example, like a blighted mob. That's going to actually work out quite well for us. And then the only other thing that I think I want to get this episode, which I've been holding out on getting this, and that's mainly because it makes things too easy. And honestly, this pack, it's not as hard as a lot of the other like combat heavy type packs. So I didn't want to go to this too fast because it would just make things a little bit easier than what they should be, I think, or for like fun starting out. We are going to make ourselves a summoning staff. And there's a couple different ones. This one is kind of like your general all-purpose one. This one, you don't use as much focus, which focus is basically your mana, and you can only have out so many mobs at a time. But you do waste health. We're not going to be going with a blood summoning staff in this pack. It would be a terrible idea, I think. Though then again, I don't know if it would damage your body parts, and we don't actually use our health as much as we do like the health of our body parts. That's the big thing. But I tend to like the stable, the savage, and the sturdy, and it really depends on what we're summoning as to what we want. Yeah, we're just going to go with the standard one for right now. Now, over my hunger bar, that's our focus bar. It does cover up our thirst bar, but that's okay, because it's just something we would kind of switch over to periodically. And what we're going to do is right here, we can open up our summoning menu. These are the creatures I can currently summon, and I'm going to set, let's see, Abaya are 4. I accidentally summoned some of those. But I think most of these others, Phantoms are 6, but they're pretty powerful. We're actually going to be going with 2 cost summons, I do believe. And, I think I'm going to set an Aegis on my first slot. On my second slot, I'm going to set a Darkling. They're fast and kind of nasty. Third spot, I'm going to set a Jinn, because they do a lot of fall damage. You know, if it's an outdoor space, they can basically work kind of like shulkers, and they'll cause the creature to kind of travel up and then take fall damage. Jabberwock on 4, because these guys are actually pretty nasty. They hit pretty hard. And then on the 5th slot, I'm going to take a Phantom. I think, even though it's a higher summon cost, they're kind of nice because they can actually travel between walls and attack things through walls and stuff like that. And they're actually... Ghosts are kind of nice for that. Remobra are pretty good as well, because they do poison damage. But, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go with, is these 5 to start with. And we can set these, the Phantom I'm going to set to aggressive, so he's going to go out and he's going to hunt things down through walls. And I think the Jinn, I'm actually going to set it as like a Violet Jinn. We're going to set it as aggressive. As well, so it can go off and do its thing. I'm going to keep the Aegis as defensive. The Darklings, I'm going to have them as aggressive, and then the Jabberwock is going to be on assist. Yeah, I think that's the way I want to set it up. And the nice thing is, if you use Jinn and Jabberwocks together, Jabberwocks, if I recall, they can increase fall damage, and Jinn, of course, give levitation, so you're going to get fall damage. They're kind of actually a nasty combo. But yeah, I know I do things a little bit differently, maybe than a lot of people do. Like, I'm not using the matchbox. I know some people like it. There was actually a time when the realistic lighting, or realistic torches, where you couldn't make them in bulk, and where you couldn't just make torches like pre-lit. That was a lot of the point of realistic torches, if I recall, was having more realistic torches. And now, using the matchbox, it's like they can go out, but that's about it, because you can like pre-make them lit, which I don't know, it makes no sense. But so I'm not really using the matchbox. I know a lot of people have suggested that. I'm not really using that, and I'm not using the rapier and stuff. I know a lot of people seem to like the rapier a lot, but it's not my cup of tea, and I didn't really see a point in getting into Spartan's weapons until I was actually using specialty weapons, because that's really what they are, is they're specialty weapons. They're not like all-purpose weapons, like, say, the sword is. Because each one has very glaring, like, strengths and weaknesses, so I like the sword because it's got the balance. But, yeah, so anyways, I'm going to end out this episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay updated with when new videos come out. Next episode, we are going to go out, well, I'm going to try to get my building up high enough so we can use the anvil and the reforging station, and then we're probably going to go out to probably the roguelike dungeon, I think. Or we might go to the nether. I don't know. Either one would be cool. So, we shall see. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.